Hey y'all, hey, welcome to 2D Talk Sense. Let me go ahead and play this music while I'm getting stuff in order.
Yeah, Lynn the Tube found a star in the chaos. Duty spitting facts like a modern day seance. Trending waves, politics in the spotlight. Raw with the wit hits you sharp like a frostbite. Come on, y'all, let's discuss her anthem, her creed. Breaking down the drama, uncovering the greed. Laugh through the truth, it's enlightenment with flair. 2D talk sense, ain't no nonsense over there. Come on, we tuned into 2D's vibe. High energy keeps the convo alive. From scandals to news, she hit it all bright. 2D taking the mic like she owns the fight. Attention, detention, the trends are her prey. Mix politics with comedy in a slick ballet. 2D bust through lies like a battering ram. Sharp commentary, she ain't giving a damn. Come on, we tuned into 2D's vibe. High energy keeps the convo alive. From scandals to news, she hit it all bright. 2D taking the mic like she on fight.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome to 2D Talk Sense. Happy Friday. Get Oprah Friday. It is finally Friday, okay? Baby, there's been a lot going on this week. How was y'all week? Because mine was busy. I don't know if I'm going to be back on here later on today because I need to get this hair braid back up, okay? I am tired of doing my hair in the morning. Okay, yeah, y'all can hear me. It is nice and sunny out here in the shy. We got I think the high's supposed to be 76. No rain for today. Baby, I might even be outside on the porch doing my hair tonight. Taking back old school, just kicking it on the porch and do my hair today. Now, if y'all didn't see, I wanted to know, not yesterday, the day before. So this was Wednesday, where I talked about the GOP, the Young Republican Party group chat got leaked. So it was over 2,000 and something messages. It's a 6 month span of messages that got leaked, right? And the Politico put out some of the messages. And baby, when I tell you, they hit every racist thing that they could say. They said it. They was anti-Semitic. They was homophobic, anti-black, racist, baby. They did it all. They just got the checklist of how to offend people and just checked it off and did it. Talking about our word and girls, gas chambers, baby. They hit it off. So then I read all those messages. Go look at my last video if y'all want to go through that to see that. Also, while y'all in here, like the video when you come in, okay? Like if you haven't. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, there's some new subscribers. If you're new and just tuning in, just to let you know how this goes, okay? How this channel works. Everybody's opinion is welcome. I'm trying to do it in the respectful way, but if you get disrespectful, baby, I'm gonna give it back. Feed me your energy, I feed it back. Feedback, feedback. That's what they used to say at the poetry. Shout out, Three Brothers in a Mic. But that's the way we do it here. I am not a political analyst. I'm not a historian. We talk about trending subjects here. And I say we because I give this platform is going to be where I drop the link. You can come up and talk, or if you're in the comments, I talk back to you in the comments. And we always don't have to agree, but we should always be respectful. Okay. Now, do I talk about people? Yes. Especially racist. Now let's continue. Let's continue about talking about these racists here. So the text messages came out. So then you have people, of course it's trending. And so of course this is Republicans. Now what is being said is that this is inbreeding. I mean infighting. This is infighting. That this is one Republican group that was against another Republican group, and they got mad at each other and they dropped a text message. It doesn't matter because the text messages were still said and they were still out there. So you have some Republicans who have came out and denounced it, but then you still have your group of Republicans who refuse to denounce this. And one of them is the VP. I was I ain't monetized yet. I had what I had heard was once you get monetized, like it's like a minute marker or something like that, like a couple of minutes that you can't curse. So I'm like, I'm trying to do better now. So, God willing, I'm gonna get monetized so I won't have to work on it so much because baby, I cuss. Um, so it's cussing ain't the thing for you. This might not be the right channel because I cuss. Um, so the VP J.D. Vance came out and gave his thoughts about these group messages that was leaked. Because even not my title yesterday said Young Republicans leaked a group message. These motherfuckers saying they is in their 30s, baby. They is in their 30s. A couple of them. You got a couple of them who's like 22, 24. But the initially when the group message got leaked, it was saying, young kids, young Republican. In the group, this young Republican group, that's the name of that group. They from 18 to 40. Now, yeah, thank you if I look young, but 40, baby, 40. Don't say no kids at no 40. Them people is old enough to have kids. But let me let me pull up. I believe I have the ages. There was one I wasn't able to find an age for. I'm gonna pull up their ages. Then I'm gonna show you what JD Vance said. And I don't know why it's such a problem to me. That's one of the big things, one of the big differences that is very quite notable between the Republicans, the difference between the Republicans and the Democrats. Because what I have noticed is that it seems very hard for Republicans, MAGA, whatever you want to classify yourself as, to come out and say, "Nah, that shit is wrong." When it comes to racism, misogyny, things of that nature, homophobic, just come out and say, "Nah, that's wrong. That person shouldn't have said that. That person shouldn't have done that." Like, instead, it's a whole deflect type of thing. So I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all the ages first. The ages of these people that they are calling kids. So I believe y'all can see it. Can y'all see it? Yes. So you have one that's 31. And if I can, in case y'all can't see it clearly, I believe I can. And I want to read off what some of the ones that the 31-year-old said. The 31, that's great. I love Hitler. Then you have the other one that's 35. You have a 29, 24, 27, another 24-year-old, and the girl at the bottom is 28. I couldn't figure out the Peter Griffin in the middle with the dark hair Peter Griffin. I couldn't figure out, I couldn't find his age. So I don't know how old he is. But yeah, talking about little kids. You think they talking about some little teenagers. No, these are grown ass people. Unless you talking about little men, unless these are some little kids like the orphans in the movies where they say they kids and they grown. But what little kids are we talking about, JD? Let me go to and show y'all. Let me stop sharing this one and show y'all JD Vance response to these text messages.
That kids do stupid things, especially young boys, by focusing on what kids are saying in group chat. Grow up. I'm sorry. Focus on the real issues. Don't focus on what kids say in group chats. But there's another angle to this that I just have to be honest about. I mean, I'm like an old guy at this point. I'm 41 years old. I have 3 kids. I grew up in a different world, right? Where not most of the stupid things that I did when I was a teenager and a young adult, they're not on the internet. Like, I'm going to tell my kids, especially my boys, don't put things on the internet. Like,
and did you hear this? Did y'all hear that? I'm gonna tell my kids, especially my boys, don't put things on the internet. Are you not gonna say I am raising my kids not to be racist? I'm raising my kids not to be homophobic. I am raising my kids not to say shit like this, not to think like this. No, he said, I'm gonna tell them not to, put it because you don't want to get caught. And what is crazy in this group message, they were talking about an Indian person and how Indian person smell. His wife is an Indian lady. Like, your kids are Indian people. Let him continue with his talk, y'all.
Like, be careful with what you post. If you put something in a group chat, assume that some scumbag is going to leak it in an effort to try to cause you harm, cause your family harm. But the reality is that kids do stupid things, especially.
And you hear that somebody's going to try to leak it to cause you harm or cause your family harm. No, they're going to try to leak it so the public could know, especially some of these people. These was the future. Actually, one person was a senator. The other people were the future Republican Party. So these are people who's trying to be leaders, senators, governors. So it's possible that he's like, oh, well, people talking about a stupid group chat. No, these are people who's going to be in a position of power. And if these people are in a position of power, and how do we know if this is the way that they think about blacks, or the way they think about gays, the way they think about Jewish people, that it won't be implemented in laws and things that they are enacting or passing, and policies that they are passing. This is not just a stupid little group chat. This is people who either was in power or trying to get in a position of power, who's going to be making rules for that state and maybe end up like you, be the vice president or the president of the United States and get rid of DEI. Yeah. This is a whole mess. So that's how J.D. Vance answered it. Then he doubled down. I believe, let me see if I can find it. I'll show y'all. He doubled down and said, went and made a post. J.D. Vance. Went and made a post pretty much saying the same thing. I refuse to succumb to the pressure, and I will not disavow or mess up these kids, still calling these grown ass people kids, life because you guys want me to. I said, boy,
are your cookie batter sending
that's what we need to do. We need to go back to telling people who need to shut up to shut the fuck up, because you sound like an idiot. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find it. But if not, I want to show y'all one more of this guy, this Republican guy, who just refused to say that, that this was wrong. And hopefully I can find him.
Yes. Why do you think it is disproportionately coming from young progressives?
Well, Andrew pointed out an undercurrent of political violence, but there is a deeper undercurrent here of political radicalization.
This is a guy that I see on YouTube all the time, but not YouTube, Facebook and everything. He's a young guy. He has been on CNN. He has been on CNN and stuff and saying, and CNN, he's very young, I think 19, 20, straight out of college, have been on CNN. I'm assuming he's a Democrat, but I'm not sure. But anyway, he was on, I want to say News Nation with Cuomo, and I believe Stephen A. Smith was there. But the other guy is actually the Charlie Kirk manager. I believe he was like the stage manager or something. He was recording for it. He was a big part of Charlie Kirk, and he refused to denounce. He refused to denounce these messages that these kids made. Let's see if I can get the value.
He posted an AI image of Chicago being invaded. After that, he sent the National Guard to Chicago. So I've spent my formative years watching the president do this, and just think
close friend of Charlie Kirk's, and he is carrying forward their sense of purpose on the podcast and with the organization. And I thank you both for being with us tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Andrew, let me start with you. We have met relatively recently. I was with Charlie on Patrick Bet-David's podcast for hours. We talked, we texted. It was fruitful.
Here of political radicalization of young people, primarily young men. So the same time that Charlie Kirk was tragically shot, another young white dude shot up Evergreen High School in Colorado, and this dude was a far-right neo-Nazi who had anti-Semitic messages online. I think that there's an undercurrent of radicalization that's stemming from a few things. As a 23-year-old, I lived through COVID during my most formative years, and I was able to rebound and have a social life, but a lot of young people didn't really get to rebound. Imagine having this bubble up around you during COVID, and you never really get to pull that bubble down, so you get sucked deeper and deeper down these algorithms online. Those algorithms are then, incentivized to push the most outrage, whether it's foreign bots like Russia and Iran trying to get people outraged, or domestic actors. I think Elon Musk's Twitter feed, for example, is disgusting and could radicalize a lot of young people. I disagree with the idea that violence disproportionately comes from young progressives. It is uniquely up this year, but if you look at any polls, according to CSIS, political violence overwhelmingly comes from the right. These mass shootings come from the right. And when it comes to the leaked text messages that came out 24 hours ago, I don't think it's fair to say there's an undercurrent just on the left. I know what you mean, but there's also an undercurrent on the right. There's something deep and dark boiling inside the GOP. And it's like the Nick Fuentes faction of the GOP. You can't deny that this is boiling when we got these leaked texts 24 hours ago. I do not like when people are characterizing these as kids in college. These were grown adults. Some of them were 32 years old. One of them was a state senator from Vermont. Today, we saw an Ohio aide with a swastika in the back. I would never claim that this is representative of an entire party, but I do think there's an undercurrent of radicalization on both sides.
Can I, go ahead, Andrew. Please put a point on it, and then we'll go to the audience. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I want to find agreement. Charlie, if you ever watch his debates really closely, he was a master at making that human connection with people. He would say, so we agree. Even if they were worlds apart, he would try and find a place where he would agree with the student or the professor often that would come debate him. So I agree with you that COVID had a profound effect.
And no, it's the student. The same way they are trying to make Charlie. Once he passed, I didn't, certain rhetoric I don't follow. I don't watch. And he was one of them. So even when he passed and they said that he was 31, I'm like, why is he? They spend a lot of time on college campuses, but he was 31. So he was debating students and professors, maybe 1-2 professors, and he always lost because he was debating people who were 18, 19-year-old, and a lot of them actually won. The clips that he would post, of course, it's his channel, but the clips he would post would be of him winning an argument, or the person nervous, or the person stumbling off words. Yeah, those 18, 19-year-old kids. These people on this group message was grown. They probably got kids, especially the Ellen, the plus size Ellen looking one that got the black hair. If anybody got his pants off, it was because they so tight. If anybody was able to pull them pants off, and he probably got kids, and he probably breastfed.
On Gen Z. I did not live through that, and my heart goes out to Gen Z students that lost their proms and their graduations from that and lost their social lives. However,
but listen, my heart go out to people who lost their proms and lost their social life. So you do have some sympathy in you, but you cannot denounce racism. Crazy.
The study you just cited didn't include things like, the Tesla attacks that were against Elon Musk and Tesla.
The study shows.
And I keep interrupting, but they don't say this on here. You cannot put into Tesla attacks what was attacks on cars against political violence, that the statistics that's done on human beings is not the same thing.
Lethal deaths, lethal violence. Lethal violence comes disproportionately from the right. The Tesla attacks were not lethal. We can point to the Buffalo shooting, the El Paso supermarket.
I let you talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wow. All right. So there's a whole bunch.
I tried
there.
to debunk my study, so.
Is it your study?
And you see what he did? He said, I let you talk, which, yes, Adam did interrupt. But because he don't have a point against what Adams is saying, he's trying to deflect right now. Wow. Oh, my God. Yeah. But then, watch, he said, was it your study? Now, you finna address that, but I ain't finna address what he just said about that political violence.
Did you do it?
I did not do it, but keep
What is your point, sir?
My point is that time and time again, whether it's the Erin Burnett on CNN, God bless her, she tried to quote the same study. They didn't include a lot of what we would consider left-wing violence in that study, okay? First of all. Second of all, my dear friend was just killed by left-wing violence, assassinated in cold blood. There has been how many ICE facilities that have been targeted?
And the Charlie Kirk, the person who on the live, Charlie Kirk, there's still this great debate about what side he fell on. But do I believe the violence was wrong either way? But there's still this great debate about what side he fell on, because people, all his life, he was Republican. His family was Republican. He grew up Republican. That's how he had all that gun training. He had pictures since he was a kid. His grandmother came out and said, we don't even know any Democrats. He was born and raised Republican. But they said that it has been said that he had a trans roommate, that people are saying that they was in a relationship together. I said, I don't know, how does that not mean that because he had a trans roommate or a trans lover that he was not Republican? Do you know how many DL Republican men is out here, or not even some that's gay and don't even say they're gay but still don't like gays? Did we not see Caitlyn, a trans woman who is MAGA but have to try to get rules against trans people? Have you not seen the news that during the Republican convention, Grindr crashed twice? And the last time during the Charlie Kirk thing, Grindr crashed again. That's how many gay men are on Grindr doing a Republican event. So I don't understand how one negates the other, to say that, oh, okay, well, he couldn't be a Republican because he was with a trans person. That doesn't mean he couldn't be Republican. But either way, whether he was Democrat or Republican, it was still wrong.
And when you look at what's happening right now, I agree with you on the radicalization, but you have to be honest about the fact that you even admitted, well, this year it's progressives. Well, what about George Floyd? What about that whole summer of looting and rioting? Listen, there has been a trend of...
And that makes no sense. He said, what about George Floyd and the summer looting and rioting? So we're gonna just glaze over what happened to George Floyd, and we're going to look at the reaction of the people who's out there protesting, or whatever you want to classify it as. We're going to look at the reaction and not the event. Yeah.
I think let's just say, let's be gracious and say, in the era of Trump, maybe it's a reaction to Trump. I'm open to those discussions, but there is a justification for political violence. It shows up in every poll, and it's coming from progressives.
I have spent all of my formative years watching the President of the United States talk about the opposition party like they shouldn't exist. His claim to fame in U.S. politics was saying that Obama wasn't born in America. That is how he entered the political stage. He was famous before that, but that was his claim to fame. He was the first presidential candidate to ever chant "lock her up" on a political stage. He tried to coup our government. And I live in this, let me finish. Listen. I live in the city of Chicago. Donald Trump, over the past 2 months, has not only posted an AI video of Obama being arrested, but then after that, he posted an AI image of Chicago being invaded. After that, he sent the National Guard to Chicago. So I've spent my formative years watching the president do this. And just think about this. We saw these Nazi group chats, which I'm sure you condemn, right? This Nazi group chat.
Well, we can talk about it.
Do you condemn it?
I want to talk about it.
Wait, so...
Yeah, we could talk about it. Do you condemn it? We could talk about it.
When they said gas chambers, when they say gas chambers, you won't. So you're like J.D. Vance. You just won't condemn this?
Well, I actually had J.D. on the show today. We had a whole conversation.
You guys can all condemn this, right?
You see, another deflection. So you like J.D. Vance? Yeah, well, I did have J.D. Vance on the show today. Like, answer the question, sir. You're just good at deflecting, but you're not good at answering the question and trying to skirt around it. Now pull up and answer.
Hell yes.
Thank you.
Hold on.
All right.
Chris, can you condemn that?
Here's the point, of course, but that's easy. what
Not
I'm
for him, but you know what? This is not constructive, right?
Right. Because what the
he's trying to
constructive
make
part is not, this is what, look, what's happening here, and I know both of you guys, and I want to bring Joe in on this, and I want to get to the audience. Let's just be clear about where the path is forward.
I'm Luke. I'm originally from Amarillo,
So
Texas.
yeah, I just wanted to show y'all that. And like I said, there have been, I try to get even and try to give you both sides of the story. There have been some Republican, I want to say it was a senator, some Republican senators who have came out and denounced this. But you do have the people like J.D. Vance, who's at the top of y'all, second in command for the Republican Party, who refused to denounce this type of behavior. And then y'all want to act shocked that this group text message is going on. We were not shocked at all. The party who's getting rid of DEIs, who want to change the books, history books about slavery, who taking down Jackie Robinson, who want to remove black people from out the pictures from out the armed service. No, we were not shocked that they over there saying, going to watch black people play sports. It's like going to the zoo and they're eating chicken and watermelon and yeah, no. Shocked that somebody who voted for the person who was charged with 34 and was found liable for the R word and say grab women back, that today in a group message talking about a girl being R worded should be R worded. How are you shocked? It's like the people being shocked right now about the immigrant. I voted for him, but I didn't believe he would do this. What you thought he was gonna do? This is one of the things that he said he's gonna do that he's actually doing. So drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this whole thing. It is a mess, but let me get on up out of here. Enjoy the rest of y'all Friday. If I'm not back on here, don't forget, like the video, follow me on all social media to